Think you know Canadian culture? Think again. Polite, cold, maple syrup. That's what most people think of when they hear Canadian culture. It's like thinking Deadpool is just a dude in a red suit. Sure, it's accurate, but you're missing the layers of depth, the emotional baggage, the chimichangas. In this video, we're diving deeper into what Canadian culture feels like, how people live, interact, and think. Think of it as a cultural colonoscopy, but without the awkward doctor visits. Whether you're planning to visit, move, or just want to understand your northern neighbors a bit better, you're in the right place. Buckle up, eh? We're about to get more Canadian than a moose wearing a toque and chugging a Tim Hortons. All right, let's talk values. And no, I'm not talking about the ones your parents tried to instill in you that you may or may not have ignored. I'm talking about the bedrock of Canadian identity, the stuff we Canucks hold dearer than a double-double on a frigid winter morning. First up, diversity and inclusion. Canada's like that giant, all-welcoming potluck you never want to miss. We're a mosaic of cultures, languages, and backgrounds, all coexisting relatively peacefully. And the best part? Everyone's invited to bring a dish, except for fruitcake. Seriously, nobody likes fruitcake. Next, we have politeness and social harmony. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Canadians and being polite? Groundbreaking. But it's true. We're practically hardwired to say sorry even when someone else steps on our foot. It's in our DNA, like maple syrup addiction and an uncanny ability to survive sub-zero temperatures. Now let's mosey on over to the concept of community over individualism. Especially in our charming small towns, it's all about lending a hand to your neighbor, whether it's shoveling their driveway after a blizzard or helping them build a backyard rink. It's like a real-life Hallmark movie, minus the cheesy dialogue. Mostly. And last but not least, we have environmental awareness. We Canucks love our great outdoors, from the majestic Rocky Mountains to the vast windswept prairies. We're all about protecting our natural playground, eh? Think of us as the world's responsible older sibling, always reminding everyone to recycle and reduce their carbon footprint. So, you want to know how to spot a Canadian in their natural habitat? Don't worry, it's easier than finding a Tim Hortons in a snowstorm. Just keep your eyes peeled for these telltale signs. First and foremost, the apology. We apologize for everything. Bumped into someone? Sorry. Someone bumped into you? Still sorry. Didn't get a chance to bump into anyone? Sorry about that too. It's basically our national catchphrase. Speaking of national pastimes, let's talk about queuing. Canadians are the masters of the organized line. We will patiently wait our turn, whether it's for a table at a busy restaurant or the latest iPhone. Cutting in line? Well, that's just un-Canadian. You might as well wear a kick me sign on your back. Now, while we're generally a friendly bunch, we also value our personal space. We'll happily chat with you in line at the grocery store, but we'll keep a polite distance. Think of it as the Canadian air bubble of personal freedom. And finally, let's talk about punctuality. We believe in being on time, whether it's for a meeting or a hockey game, especially a hockey game. Being fashionably late might fly in other countries, but in Canada, it's just plain rude. Time is precious, eh? Almost as precious as a perfectly toasted bagel. All right, let's talk about the good stuff, humor, identity, and the quirks of Canadian communication. Get ready to laugh, at yourself mostly, and learn some new lingo. First up, self-deprecating humor. Canadians are masters of the art of not taking ourselves too seriously. We'd rather laugh at our own expense than inflate our egos. It's like a national defense mechanism against the cold, the dark, and the crushing weight of our own insignificance in the vast universe. And speaking of unique communication styles, let's talk about Canadianisms. We have a whole dictionary of slang words and phrases that can leave non-Canadians scratching their heads. Toque, that's a hat. Double-double, coffee with 2 creams and 2 sugars. Kerfuffle? Well, that's just a fancy word for a minor disagreement. Oh, and don't even get me started on our regional accents. From the East Coast lilt to the West Coast drawl, Canada's a symphony of different ways of saying, it's like traveling to a different country without actually leaving, you know? And speaking of different countries, let's not forget about our bilingual identity. We're home to both English and French, which can make for some interesting conversations. Or grocery shopping trips. But hey, at least we're bilingual. Take that, rest of the world. Finally, no discussion of Canadian identity would be complete without mentioning our pop culture icons. We're talking Hockey Night in Canada, the CBC, and of course, the legendary Trailer Park Boys. These are the cultural touchstones that unite us from coast to coast to coast. Hold on to your toques, folks, because we're about to embark on a whirlwind tour of Canada's diverse cultural landscape. Get ready to experience everything from the joie de vivre of Quebec to the laid-back vibes of the West Coast. First up, let's talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say the moose in the maple forest, the distinct culture of Quebec. With its French language, European charm, and fierce sense of identity, Quebec is like a whole other world within Canada. It's like stepping into a Parisian cafe, but with poutine instead of croissants. Now let's head west to the vast expanse of the prairies and the rugged beauty of the Rocky Mountains. Out here, life moves at a different pace. It's all about wide-open spaces, friendly faces, and a deep connection to the land. Think cowboys, rodeos, and a healthy dose of can-do spirit. And speaking of spirit, let's not forget about the rich tapestry of Indigenous cultures that have shaped this land for millennia. From the Haida Gwaii to the Inuit Nunangat, Indigenous peoples have left an indelible mark on Canada's art, music, storytelling, and relationship with the natural world. Now let's zip over to the East Coast, where the Maritimes will welcome you with open arms and maybe a lobster dinner or two. Life here's a little slower, a little friendlier, and a lot more laid back. Think charming fishing villages, Celtic music, and a healthy dose of seafaring spirit. And finally, no cultural tour of Canada would be complete without a stop in Toronto, the country's bustling metropolis. With its diverse population, vibrant art scene, and fast-paced energy, Toronto's a microcosm of modern Canada. It's like New York City, but with friendlier people and less honking. So you think you've got Canada all figured out, eh? Well, think again. Even the most seasoned traveler can be surprised by the quirks and contradictions of Canadian culture. Get ready to have your mind blown, or at least mildly intrigued. First up, we're friendly, but we're also reserved. We'll happily chat with you in line at the Tim Hortons, but don't expect us to spill our deepest secrets right away. It takes time to break through the Canadian shell, like a maple tree shedding its leaves in autumn. Next, let's talk about multiculturalism. We're not just tolerant of other cultures, we embrace them. Our cities are melting pots of different cuisines, languages, and traditions. It's like a giant, delicious cultural buffet, and everyone's invited. And speaking of national pride, we're not exactly known for our chest-thumping patriotism. We're more about quiet confidence than loud proclamations. We'd rather let our actions speak louder than words, eh? It's the Canadian way. Now let's talk about winter. Yeah, it gets cold here, like really cold. But we don't just survive winter, we embrace it. We skate on frozen lakes, play hockey in snowstorms, and even go for polar bear swims. Okay, maybe not everyone does that last one. And finally, let's talk about the Canadian psyche. We're a nation of contradictions. Polite but sarcastic, humble but proud, rugged but sophisticated. We're like the enigmatic neighbor you never quite figure out, but you secretly kind of like it that way. Canadian culture is a quiet confidence. It's more than just maple syrup and politeness. It's layered, rich, and welcoming. It's about embracing diversity, saying sorry a lot, and laughing at ourselves. And now that you've seen it through the lens of yours truly, you'll never see Canada the same way again. You're welcome. What surprised you most about Canadian culture? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your perspective.